You're right there, YouTube. It's Krakoon again, bringing you another gameplay. Commentating man, we're here again, bringing you some more Modern Warfare 3 like I do. Gonna be playing a 6v6 domination on the map Sanctuary, using the AK47 with a kit proficiency and a suppressor on now. I believe I'm running the perks setup, Sleight Van Pro, Hardline Pro, Marksman Pro. I believe I'm running the Kill Streak setup, the Specialist Strike package with my first perk Assassin, second Blind Eye, third Scavenger. On top of that, I'm running a Frag Grenade and a Portable Radar as my Lethal and Tactical. And is that it? I think that's it. Boom! Getting on, doing like we do, man. Beasting some people off. I don't know, man. This game was actually from a live stream that I had about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Maybe a bit longer, maybe a month or so ago. So, you know, it's not exactly the most recent gameplay, but it's got to be recent enough for it to be on Sanctuary, you know what I'm saying, like that. So, you know, it's all fair and love and war, whatever you want to say like that. But besides the point, beasting some people off, dropping a MOAB on some fools, using the AK for the majority. I believe I pick up like an ACR. I vary between quite a few different weapons, actually, because I'm picking them up and then, you know, I'm working on my kills and everything like that. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I got this from a live stream, so it's recorded from theatre mode, so it's cut down just a little bit at the start and I think maybe a little bit at the end. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, man, I'm beasting some people off, dropping a MOAB. Tips and tricks about this map, and just generally this goes without MOABs, and then maybe I'll move on to MOABs in a little second, because I've not really spoken about Sanctuary, or I've not really done a Call of Duty commentary in a while, and I don't know, it's interesting to say the least, but it's besides the point, right? Tips for this map for getting MOABs anyway, right? You want to keep A and C, and you want to push them onto B. And that's about it. That's the only tip you need for essentially getting MOABs on this map. You want to keep A and C, push them into B, let them come flooding out the Pim Church, let them come... I'd even stay over here near A, personally, in my opinion, because even when you're going over towards Seaside and you've got like... Well, obviously you've got the higher ground looking down directly onto sea, but the higher ground isn't really much of an advantage, seeing as though you've got like a long kind of evasive space on the opposite side of the bridge near B, where it leaves you open for sniper fire and, you know, just essentially not even sniper fire, just assault rifle fire. You can get taken down very easily from long range over there. ACRs, Type 95s, G36s. I mean, they can all do it. They're all capable of doing it, and it definitely does happen. So, my personal opinion, stay around the part of the map near A. Stay around, like, you know, these narrower corridors. Because, you see, it's a very interesting thing in this map is because the, like, what do you call it now? The diversity over long, narrow streets and tight corners and shit like that compared to open, like, obstacle blocked areas and shit like that. I don't know. It kind of really reminds me of like what Oasis is trying to do, but what Oasis has done instead is they've made the whole map too open, and then they've put it so there's like to get between these different large open areas you've got to go through like tight chokehold points, and they've kind of limited the chokehold points. And seriously, there's not a single corridor on Oasis except for the parts like around the whole right hand side of the map if you spawn in like at A, I think, at A, or the right hand side if it's at C. Oh wait, no, it might be, I don't know, whatever, it's beside the point. But there's hardly any corridors on there. Like I said, they're going from large open areas to chokehold points, and it's pretty shit. That's why I really don't like that map, because the whole map is based upon large open areas and then chokehold points. That's literally it. That's the only way about it. There's literally no corridors in which there's a tight, like, close quarter combat path. It's always like, if you're going down a corridor, right, you've literally only just spawned and there's not going to be really too much action going on around there, unless you've gone on a flank and you're within the enemy spawn, in which that case there will probably be like enemies spawning around the place. But you know, it's still not like on a greater scale compared to like Sanctuary or something like that, and like the diversity between the two, because this map does a really good job of having the close quarter combat situations to also then making it tight, you know, tight kind of long range sights, you know, obstacles, trees blocking it. You've got flower embedments or whatever you want to call it like that. You've got walls, you've got statues, you know, you've got obstacles. I mean, your sights over the open areas are not really as like open as they can be on other maps, you know what I'm saying, like that, especially like Oasis and shit, like I've just been saying. But I don't know, it's interesting really, because I really do not like Oasis, and I don't want to talk about Oasis because I'm not playing the game of Oasis. I'll leave that for another time or anything like that. But it's kind of leading me back onto my point about, like, I don't know, the diversity between the two, and like having that balance between close quarter combat situation kind of like areas of the map, to then leading it to have open like long range sights, you know, kind of like I don't know what you'd call it, like like more of an open battleground, if you know what I'm saying, like that. That's kind of like the scenario in which Oasis does it wrong, because it's all so open, yeah. Chokehold points become such a high benefactor, and I mean, like Tipface will know it for sure. I mean, he says he's rushing half the time. I've seen one of his moves. It wasn't exactly rushing, considering, like, I can understand how you can perceive it as rushing, but with that map and being open areas, literally just moving to open area, and then just staying around one area is not really rushing. It's just you're abusing the fact of the areas and the chokehold points, if you understand what I'm saying, like that, what I've been saying, the open areas and the chokehold points, because when you have these large, expansive open areas, narrowing down into small, like, corridors, or like, well, there's not even a corridor, small, like, gateways or arches, or, you know, shit like that, these chokehold points, as I like to call them, then, you know, it's kind of a fucked up scenario, because you can't do nothing about it. That's just the way I see it anyway. But besides the point, I'm literally about to pick up the MOAB here. I'm pretty sure all of these come flooding into my pimp church. I pick up one, more come, and I think I get like 2 or 3 here in this, like a double spray. Get the MOAB, drop the MOAB, call it in, bing bang boom, or bing bang boom, something like that. I don't know. Whatever. Besides the point. Somebody EMPs, whatever, I don't know. The gameplay's kind of wrapping up to here, and you got the final 2 minutes and everything like that. It's a little pretty interesting story about, you know, like, well, my comparisons between, well, I can't really make a comparison between Sanctuary and Oasis. They're pretty different maps considering, but I don't know. You just kind of got my little thoughts about, a bit about Oasis and a bit about Sanctuary, and what Sanctuary seems to do better and what Oasis doesn't really seem to do. I don't know, but you can understand what I'm saying, like when I'm coming down here to this tight narrow corner, and then, you know, if that plant or that tree wasn't there, that plant like that plant embedment or whatever you want to call it, if that plant and tree wasn't there, then I would have had a clear sight onto A. But you can obviously tell that somebody's been thinking about the angles and shit like that when designing the map, and they were like, right, for close quarter engagements, this is going to be an open area, but let's at least provide them some cover from people possibly spawning down there and getting a flank on them, you know what I'm saying, like that. And if they're peering around a corner to get the kill, then you know what I'm saying, it's like they've thought about that method. They've actually thought about it, and they put an obstacle in there, and it's like, I don't know, it's such a it's just I'm going to do a commentary about Call of Duty maps and just the variations between so many different maps, and how I honestly think that generic maps need to return, because symmetrical maps, just like in any like game, they just work so much better. And I don't know why it is, but generic symmetrical maps work better, and it pisses me off when people are like, oh yeah, but you know, if they just did it all generic, people would be complaining about that. Well, no, I wouldn't be, because then it wouldn't leave for the map to be unproportioned. All you've got to do, yeah, is look at the pit from Halo 3. And that's all I'm going to say. That is literally all I'm going to say. The diversity between narrow corridors to open areas to high vantage points to lower, like, flanking routes, you know, all that. The pit, mate. Seriously. Or even in, like, speaking Call of Duty, look at Shipment. Look at Rust. Look at High Rise. The maps, they're not, like, extremely generic. I mean, they've all got different kind of points and shit like that, and I mean, but whatever, it's besides the point. They're still fucking pretty symmetrical, you know what I'm saying, like that. They're still goddamn pretty symmetrical, and they're still amazingly, like, good maps to play. So, I don't know, you take it for what it is. I wraps up the game, dropping mobs on fools. That's all good stuff for now, and peace!